In this video, I'll show you around a roadside station on Awaji Island, otherwise known as a Michi-no-Eki, and show you some of the fantastic food options they have there. With every trip we make to Japan, we get a little bit more adventurous, and on this trip we decided to hire a car. This is Awaji Island, and it sits between sort of Kobe area and Shikoku. And we picked up our hire car in Kobe and headed across this bridge, which is the Akashi-Keikyo Bridge, and it links the Kobe area to Awaji Island. And just right after you get across the bridge, there is a roadside station, which is like a rest stop or a service area where you can pull into and have a rest. This one also features a big Ferris wheel, so it is a little bit hard to miss. So we pulled in here just to take stock of what we were doing, and we'd heard that this roadside station was pretty good anyway. So we headed inside to take a look around. As well as your usual sort of cafe and little restaurant places, there was a very large area of general places where you could buy food and souvenirs. It was obviously sitting right on the coastline as well, so afforded us a very beautiful view back over to the Kobe area. Of course, the weather was not that kind to us on this day, but we pushed on anyway. This roadside station had a very large area that sold snacks and treats, and essentially souvenirs that you can take back after your trip. They specialise in local cuisine. Awaji Island specialises in onions, and so there were many onion treats in this place. Might seem a little bit odd, but very tasty, some of these things. So you have to have a really good look around and see what they have there. This is also quite near to Kobe, so you'll see some Kobe themed snacks as well. So there are savory snacks and sweet snacks, and in shapes of all different things. These here were also onion flavoured as well. You can see the onion pictures on top of the packaging. They're always in such beautiful boxes as well, all different shapes, bright colours. There's also a lot of collaborations with other brands as well. So you can see here, this one says Kobe on it. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to understand exactly what they are, but you can always do a quick Google Translate, and sometimes there's a lot more English, like this one, Kobe pie cream sand. So sand always refers to like a sandwich type snack. So usually sort of like a crispy sort of biscuit with a cream filling. Also, all of the snacks have really great display models. These are not actually the food, they're made to look like the food, but they're very realistic. And you'll see that in lots of different places. So the prices are all clearly displayed, so it's pretty easy to know what you want. Quite often you are paying for the packaging when you go to one of these places that sells the food souvenirs. It's all part of the fun though. These were little tins of, I think they were sort of wafer type things. Jikwa. Is that a character? I'm not quite sure. I think it might be. I'm not up to with all my characters. Those are minion ones just there. There are chocolates. Once again, little wafer type things. Those are quite popular. Also, a lot of Japanese snacks don't tend to be too sweet, which is, quite refreshing actually. They're definitely intended as a small treat rather than, eating them all at once. So these were also Kobe chocolates. and little cake. I don't know, what do you call them? Tiny cakes. I'm sure there's a name for them, but the name escapes me at the moment. They're also sort of pre-wrapped, so you don't have to do any extra wrapping if you're giving them as gifts. But look at those chocolates there. How pretty are those? Got sakura and patterns on the top of them. Kobe pudding. I mean, it's definitely worth trying a couple of these, perhaps to eat while you're there, because some of the packs are a bit bulky. But like I say, they are a little bit more on the pricey side. But, you know, you're on holiday. It's worth treating yourself. So while this was a roadside station, lots of train stations will also have different souvenir places as well. Anywhere where you're travelling is likely to have these sorts of things. So do have a look out for them. So these are Kobe macaron. You can see they've taken the English word of macaron and made it a little bit more easier for the Japanese to say. But it's easy for us to understand what it is, both from what it looks like and from the name that they've written. See, often the packaging will have pictures of local places as well. I think that was the Kobe harbour area. More onion-themed snacks. Then we've got a little display of sakura-themed items, because this was just before cherry blossom season. In fact, this was our second day in Japan, our first full day. And we had picked up the car probably just an hour before, and we'd highlighted this roadside station to visit. So once again, this is just not that far from Kobe. We were heading to Shikoku, and this is Awaji Island just as you get to the island. So it's not just snacks, but sauces and marinades, lots of local flavours. Back to the sakura. Sakura daifuku. So daifuku is like the mochi rice cake with a filling. So you can see the size of the place. It was really quite big. And this was just the area that sold the souvenirs. There's other areas where you can sit down and have a bite to eat. Very big area. There's always plenty of information about each type of snack there. These look like soups or something like that. Then they've got a few sort of non-food souvenirs. See those socks at the bottom with Snoopy on? Tokushima, which is not far from this place as well. Key rings, little trinkets. Usually each area has its own sort of mascot as well. So I'm not quite sure what it was from this area. These sort of shrimp things seem to be quite popular. I think that was a cat keyring, but yeah, a little bit different. Crab themed things, even a few little electronic bits and pieces in case you need an adapter. Even more crazy socks. I don't know what some of that writing says, but yeah, crazy socks. I think those are rice crackers. Then they also have a chilled section as well. So this is Awaji Shima milk roll cake. So Awaji Island is where this is. Lots of the usual drinks and then other food items in these chill cabinets here. If you find yourself in a place with lots of regional snacks, I encourage you to try them. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like and consider subscribing if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.